Pope Francis, the humble shepherd of the modern Catholic Church. Introduction. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, is one of the most transformative and humble figures to lead the Roman Catholic Church in modern history. Elected in 2013, he became the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit pope, and the first non-European pope in over 1,200 years. His papacy has been marked by simplicity, compassion, social justice, and an emphasis on mercy and inclusivity. This detailed story traces Pope Francis' life from his early days in Argentina to his rise as the spiritual leader of over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. Early life in Buenos Aires. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was the eldest of 5 children born to Italian immigrants Mario José Bergoglio, a railway accountant, and Regina Maria Severi, a homemaker. The family was deeply religious and instilled strong Catholic values in young Jorge. Bergoglio grew up in a working-class neighborhood and experienced the economic struggles of Argentine society. He attended public school and showed early signs of intellectual curiosity and spiritual depth. As a teenager, he developed a deep love for literature and classical music, particularly the works of Fyodor Dostoevsky and Jorge Luis Borges. His life took a significant turn at the age of 21 when he suffered a severe illness and had part of his lung removed. This experience shaped his empathy and understanding of human suffering, qualities that would later define his pastoral approach. Call to religious life and Jesuit formation. In 1958, Bergoglio entered the Society of Jesus, a religious order founded by St. Ignatius of Loyola, known for its focus on education, intellectual rigor, and missionary work. His decision to join the Jesuits reflected his desire to live a life of service, discipline, and devotion. He studied philosophy at the Colegio Máximo de San José in San Miguel, and later taught literature and psychology. He was ordained a priest in 1969 and continued his theological studies. In 1973, at just 36 years old, he became the provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina. During his leadership, Argentina was engulfed in political turmoil and violence under the military dictatorship. Bergoglio navigated the challenges of this era with caution and pragmatism. His actions during the Dirty War remain a topic of debate, though he has consistently denied any wrongdoing and emphasized his efforts to protect lives behind the scenes. Rise in the church hierarchy. After serving in various academic and pastoral roles, Bergoglio was appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires in 1992. He quickly gained a reputation for humility, simplicity, and a deep concern for the poor. In 1998, he became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. As Archbishop, Bergoglio chose to live in a small apartment instead of the Archbishop's palace. He cooked his own meals and used public transportation, setting an example of modesty. He focused his ministry on slum outreach, advocating for social justice, and strengthening the faith of everyday Catholics. In 2001, Pope John Paul II elevated him to the College of Cardinals. Despite his rising prominence, Bergoglio remained reserved and avoided the limelight. He was known for his intellectual depth, pastoral sensitivity, and dedication to the marginalized. Election as Pope. On March 13, 2013, following the unexpected resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, Cardinal Bergoglio was elected Pope by the Papal Conclave. He chose the name Francis in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, symbolizing his commitment to humility, poverty, and peace. His election was historic in many ways. He was the first Jesuit Pope, the first Pope from Latin America, and the first non-European Pope in more than a millennium. His choice of name and his simple appearance on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica immediately signaled a new tone for the papacy. In his first words to the world, Pope Francis humbly asked for the prayers of the people before offering his own blessing. This gesture endeared him to millions and marked the beginning of a papacy rooted in approachability and servant leadership. A new vision for the Church. Pope Francis quickly set himself apart with a pastoral approach that emphasized mercy over judgment. He advocated for a poor church for the poor and redirected the Church's attention toward issues like poverty, migration, environmental stewardship, and interfaith dialogue. He published groundbreaking encyclicals, including Evangelii Gaudium, the Joy of the Gospel, which emphasized evangelization and social outreach, and Laudato Si, Praise Be to You, a powerful document on environmental care and climate change. Fratelli Tutti, All Brothers, followed in 2020, calling for universal fraternity and solidarity. Francis reformed the Roman Curia, improved financial transparency at the Vatican, and worked to address the clerical sexual abuse crisis. While he faced resistance within the Church, his commitment to reform and healing remained steadfast. Emphasis on mercy and inclusion. Pope Francis has prioritized mercy as a central theme of his papacy. In 2015, he declared the Extraordinary Jubilee of Mercy, encouraging acts of forgiveness, compassion, and reconciliation. He has reached out to divorced and remarried Catholics, LGBTQ individuals, and others who have felt marginalized by the Church. While maintaining traditional Church teachings, he has urged a tone of inclusivity in pastoral care. His statement, "Who am I to judge?" in response to questions about gay priests, became emblematic of his open and non-judgmental approach. Francis has also sought to elevate the role of women in the Church, advocating for greater involvement of women in leadership roles and theological reflection, though critics continue to call for more structural changes. Global outreach and diplomacy. As Pope, Francis has visited numerous countries, bringing messages of peace, hope, and unity. He has met with refugees, prisoners, indigenous communities, and world leaders. His visits to war-torn regions and places of religious conflict, such as Iraq in 2021, underscore his commitment to interfaith dialogue and peace-building. He has been an outspoken advocate for migrants and refugees, often criticizing xenophobia and nationalism. His calls for compassion, dignity, and international cooperation resonate globally, extending the moral voice of the Church beyond traditional boundaries. Challenges and criticism. Despite widespread admiration, Pope Francis has faced criticism from both conservative and progressive factions within the Church. Some conservatives view his reforms as too radical, while progressives argue that he has not gone far enough on issues like women's ordination or same-sex marriage. He has also had to confront internal resistance, bureaucratic inertia, and the complex legacy of the sexual abuse crisis. His efforts at reform have sometimes been slowed by entrenched systems and differing theological perspectives. Nevertheless, Pope Francis has remained committed to dialogue, patience, and the long view of transformation. Personal life and spirituality. Pope Francis is known for his humility, simplicity, and deep spirituality. He continues to live in the Vatican guest house rather than the Apostolic Palace. He values silence, prayer, and personal encounters with the faithful. He has spoken openly about his love for classical music, literature, soccer. He is a fan of the San Lorenzo Football Club, and his grandmother's influence on his faith. He emphasizes joy, gratitude, and tenderness as essential components of Christian life. His Jesuit background informs his emphasis on discernment, education, and social justice. He continues to write, preach, and reflect on the spiritual needs of the modern world. Legacy and future Pope Francis's legacy is still unfolding, but his impact is undeniable. He has redefined the image of the papacy, prioritized compassion over condemnation, and reinvigorated the Church's engagement with contemporary issues. Whether through his advocacy for the poor, his efforts at environmental justice, or his call for a more inclusive Church, Francis has reshaped Catholicism's global role. He remains a symbol of moral leadership and a source of inspiration for millions, Catholic and non-Catholic alike. As he continues his papal journey, Pope Francis stands as a testament to the enduring power of humility, faith, and service in a complex and changing world. Conclusion. From the streets of Buenos Aires to the heart of the Vatican, Pope Francis has walked a path marked by empathy, courage, and unwavering commitment to the gospel. His story is not just the story of a pope, it is the story of a man who listens, who serves, and who believes in the transformative power of love and mercy. As history continues to unfold, Pope Francis will be remembered as a shepherd who brought the Church closer to the people and who reminded the world that true greatness lies in serving others.